Good morning. Happy Sunday. Here we are again, still in 1 Corinthians 13, thinking about love. And we've reached verse 7. We've had all these other things listed that love is not. Love is not jealous. It's not boastful. It's not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. And then verse 7, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love is the one characteristic of God, the one quality that we should be developing the best that we can as we submit to the Holy Spirit, because it is the one thing that is eternal, because God is love. Love bears all things. When you read through the life of Jesus, you see how many times he was rejected by the people, by the leaders of the people, how many times they tried to kill him, tried to stone him, put doubt about him, and he endured it all. Think about the last days of his life, when he was so maligned and so cruelly treated. He endured it all without any complaint. Compare that to the people of Israel in the wilderness. There's no comparison, is there? Even though they had witnessed all those incredible acts of power that God had demonstrated in the wilderness, in Egypt before he got them out, and then in providing water and manna and quail, and in keeping them and directing them and travelling with them, they couldn't miss that God was with them because of the cloud pillar and the fiery pillar at night. They couldn't miss knowing that God was with them, and yet they complained and complained and complained. Love bears all things, believes all things. Love hopes all things. Love is completely different to despair, negative thinking. Love is positive. Love is positive, believes all things, believes the good in people, believes that people can be helped, believes that there are possibilities, believes that God has a plan and that there's a way out of where we are, hopes all things. I do hope that how you've experienced the lockdown has demonstrated to you how great God's love is. God has cared for us. He has provided for us. He has kept us safe. We have wanted for nothing. Our shops have not run out of goods. We have not suddenly had a desperately terrible winter on top of what. And even if we had, we have so much to be thankful for. So much to be thankful for. If we have an attitude of gratitude and an expectation that God, if God never did another thing for any of us, we have so much to be grateful for. We have eternity. We have so much. It's what has sustained Christians down through the centuries when their situation was far worse than what we have. When we think of those people who suffered in the wars, and the way that people coped with terrible situations, the way that people cope with caring for someone who is chronically sick, and all the day after day after day difficulties that are endured by people. Love gives that endurance. Love these are wonderful words. This is a verse to think about today. Read it in several different translations if you will. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love, this love Lord, I want to love like that. Lord, I want to be much more patient, much more consistent as we live with godly contentment. We iron out all those, there are some people who live a life that is full of huge peaks and very low troughs, and for years I lived like that. I went, when I lived up in London, most of the churches that, the church was okay, but it wasn't a place where you were inspired very much or filled. And so every year there would be a conference to go to kind of have a spiritual boost, a booster that lasted for the year, a concentrated time of worship. We shouldn't live like that, Every day we should top up, we should fill up every day on the joy of the Lord, on the Holy Spirit, on His love. We should dwell in the secret place with Him, meditating on His word, and we should live a consistent, contented, joyful Christian life, and not allow circumstances to batter us and knock us about. Love endures. There's a consistency, there's a steadiness about that word endurance. That it's just there. I hope I've given you some things to think about today. The first three words of verse 8 are love never ends. And we'll think about that tomorrow. Think about these words. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Let us encourage each other as we meet in fellowship today. I hope you find a way of meeting with some Christians today over the internet and rejoice in what we have and what God has done for us. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.